Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Another week. Huh? Another week. More missing scientists. UFO guys taking themselves out. Gas prices. And now, currently, shots fired? Welcome to Decoded.
Tonight, we're done pretending. Done pretending this is normal. Done pretending this makes sense. Done pretending we're being told the truth. Because we're not. We're being manipulated. Every headline, every crisis, every truth is filtered before it ever reaches you. Not to inform you, but to keep you inside the lines. Because if you ever stepped outside the narrative, even for a second, you'd start to see it. The patterns, the contradictions, the same voices telling you what to think, what to fear, and what to ignore. And it's always the same message, isn't it? You're the problem. You're the burden. You're the reason things are collapsing. Too many people, too much freedom in the United States. Meanwhile, the people writing that script, untouched. They don't fight the wars. They don't feel the shortages. They don't live with the consequences of the systems they created. But they expect you to. And they expect you to not question it. That's the deal. Stay distracted. Stay divided. Stay emotional. But never, ever connect the dots. Because the moment you do, their illusion breaks. And here's what they really don't want you realizing. You are not weak. You are not insignificant. You are not here by accident. You've just been told you are. Over and over and over again. Until you stopped arguing. Because a population that doubts itself never challenges anything. It complies. It consumes. It obeys. But tonight, we're not obeying. We're not accepting surface-level answers. We're not trusting polished narratives. And we're not ignoring what's right in front of us. We're pulling it apart, layer by layer, lie by lie. Because something isn't right. It never has been. And deep down, you already knew it. Welcome to Decoded.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, so breaking news stuff just happened. I have to share this right now. Let me hop right into this just real quick because, damn, if this isn't foreshadowing. So I guess there's a correspondence dinner happening. And 2 hours ago, here's Caroline Levitt, spokesperson there for the White House. And courtesy to Fox News, thank you very much for the short little clip. But let's hear her 2 hours before the incident.
Classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room.
Whoa, ho, ho, ho. That's hilarious, Caroline. I can't even contain my laughter. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You don't have to overdo it, man. She was just shooting her shot. That's all. She was just shooting her shot. Oh. But no, that's terrible. What happened, Create? Just moments ago, I guess tonight at the White House or wherever they're at, was the presidential, correspondence dinner. And somebody went up in there and didn't get past Secret Service. I think opened fire. They might have shot the guy back. This just happened, so I'm not too sure. You got to get on Twitter because it's like all over Twitter. I'm on Twitter right now, but I did want to show that clip because that's kind of weird. I'm getting sick of seeing all these little idiosyncrasies. I don't know what you'd call them. I don't know what kind of word I would use to describe it, but the fact that Caroline Levitt has a short little interview 2 hours before the dinner and says that, oh, it's going to be classic Donald Trump. He's going to be funny. There will be shots fired in the room. Really? Come on, man. I can't take it anymore. I sincerely, I'm exhausted. Okay, I'm exhausted. Like seriously, am I the fucked up one here? Is it me? Am I fucked up? I don't know. A lot has happened during this week. I'm gonna wait for more people to file in. I see 4 of you are in here. That's fantastic. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that either. You know what? Let me. I forgot that we have this function right here, and I'm gonna try to make it bigger because it's just me. So big. There we go. And can we make it wider? Oh, we sure can. We'll make it tall. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. It's like constant, right? There's not one thing that isn't like some sort of setup to something else. Like you can't help but see it like constantly. And then like little things like this, like they think they're cute. There's gonna be shots fired. And then what happens? Wow. And I'm not supposed to think that this is a staged event. I mean, I don't know how somebody gets that far into the event with a gun. And lo and behold, Secret Service actually does their job this time. They actually did their job. No slip-ups in security detail tonight. Oh yeah, those correspondent dinners are usually like friars roasts. Kinda. Yeah. So you can see her kind of saying that. There's going to be shots fired. Oh, boy. But yeah, how many attempts are there going to be? That's not normal. No, it's not. However, during the week, too, I saw, I like bringing up old stuff because I don't want people to forget certain things. And I came across somebody who shared something on Twitter, of course, and I don't know how much trouble I'll get into. I don't think I'll get into much trouble for this one, but do you remember back in the glorious year of 2015, 2016, during that presidential campaign between Hillary Clinton and Donald J. Trump, there was an individual who went by the name of Anthony Weiner. Can't make that up either. His name was Anthony Weiner. Well, he gets in trouble because apparently he was sending like private part pictures to an underage girl. So authorities get involved and like confiscate his computers and laptops and stuff. And so, all right, so create, you remember this. Well, there was like some news stories that came out shortly thereafter that they didn't tell us what was in there. But what they did say was that the detectives, New York City detectives who went through the laptop, saw things on this laptop so grotesque that they needed to go to counseling after they saw what they saw on the laptop. These are New York detectives. You know what kind of stuff they see day to day, all the time? They see some horrific things. They're New York City detectives. So for them to say that after going through Weiner's laptop, he had to have seen some shit. Well, somebody shared what was in there. Not physically. You don't see anything, but they tell you. So I don't see any markings on here. We could get away with probably we probably could get away with showing this. Whose computer, Romy? Anthony Weiner. Anthony Weiner. So he was somebody who was working closely with Hillary Clinton back when she was running during her campaign in 2015, 2016. So Anthony Weiner was a guy, and he had gotten in trouble. I'll just repeat it again since Romy needs to. You fucking fucker. Now I don't want to say it now. I need to think of another name. Yeah, Bernie got screwed. Absolutely. Bernie got totally. But you know what? Good. Good for him. He wants to play the game and he wants to be part of that cabal. Those are the rules, buddy. Because he was whooping her ass. He was whooping her ass. And then, nope, he needed to bow. He needed to bow out to the Queen of Baphomet. He had to bow out. I don't even want to do this anymore. What am I doing? So, right. So then she gets shooed in. That was bullcrap. I absolutely lost all respect for him after that. And then the ensuing years thereafter, finding out what kind of a shill he turned out to be. That whole, the 1%, we got to get the 1% out of DC. And it's like, now, bitch, you are the 1%. He was just doing this. He wanted to get the seals clapping, and he wanted the votes, and he wanted the, hey, Bernie's on our side. He's with the little guy. No, he ain't. He fucking takes millions from fucking Big Pharma. Millions. So no, get the 1%. Bitch, you are the 1%. You know, and when he says that too, if you want to do this mathematically, because I've seen Steven Crowder do it, all you have to do is make over, you want to be part of the 1% in the United States, make over $300,000 a year. Now all of a sudden you're part of the 1%. 300 grand a year or more. So where they're at, they're like at the 0.5, 0.3%. Asshole. He's a shill. He's an absolute grifter. Fucking shill. I did feel the burn. I got burned. He had me. He did. He had me for a second there. He really did. And then when you start to take steps back a little bit, you're like, you sound like a commie. Just, you know, the 1%. Holy shit. Anyways, back to Anthony Dickface. There, I won't say the W word. He's Anthony Dickface now for the rest of the show. See what you did, Romy? Anyways, so then you know the story, Romy, for Cripe Pete. Do you want me to repeat the whole thing over again? The guy gets busted sending dick pics to an underage kid. So the feds get involved and then they look through his laptop. What I was saying is that the New York City detectives who see homicides and essays and burn victims and really gross stuff had said that they had to go seek counseling after they saw what was on that laptop. But we never heard what was in there. We didn't know. Those were like the beginning days of Pizzagate and Anthony Weiner's laptop. Oh, what the hell is Obama talking about? $35,000 worth of hot dogs and grape soda. Huh? Well, that's a really big barbecue he's having. You mean our rich elite are eating hot dogs? Oh, isn't that cool? They eat hot dogs just like you and me. They eat pig intestines and balls and feet and lips just like you and me. So you see, they're just like us. I just want basic well-being, standard of living to be more important than profits. It'll never happen. Living in a dream. That'll never happen. Like I said 1,000,000 times. Can any politician, I don't give a shit what your affiliation is, Democrat, Republican, I don't care. Can you make our lives this much better? This much. completely incapable. Won't do it, can't do it, can't do it, won't do it. It's not going to happen. Ever. Ever. So, somebody on Twitter, I made a little thingy I want to share. Saying what's in there. They don't show anything, but here we go. Want to see it? Here we go. Hopefully I don't get popped for this, but there's no like corporate branding on it or anything. So I think we might be good to go for this. Let me make this short. Yeah, that might be good. The volume kind of sounds low, so I'll shut up and you guys turn up your devices so you can hear it, because I don't want my voice to be all crazy loud and this video to be quiet, because I want you all to hear this.
Emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop.
Who is Anthony Weiner again? You know, this guy and this guy. Things seem to be going pretty great for Anthony. A congressman himself, he was married to Huma Abedin, an American political staffer who was vice chair of Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign for president of the United States. Abedin seemed to be a sure thing for a Clinton White House. Of course, that was before police began to investigate her husband Anthony, who was ultimately sentenced to 21 months in federal prison for an illicit
Still too low, huh? Oh, it's you? Okay.
online contact with a 15-year-old girl. During its investigation, the FBI found over 15,000 emails on a private email server of Hillary Clinton's. Here's the document showing the seizure of the laptop.
So one of the things, if I were the president, I'd do is demand the Anthony Weiner laptop and get it to the most trusted person in the military to take apart everything on it and then start using it. There's a lot that can be prosecuted, I have no doubt, on that laptop.
So what all was found on this laptop? Well, the NYPD source says that the Weiner laptop has enough evidence to put Hillary away for life. It said that these emails include evidence linking Clinton herself and associates to money laundering, child exploitation, sex crimes with minors, perjury, pay to play through the Clinton Foundation, obstruction of justice, and other felony crimes. It's worth noting that this is not the first time the Clintons have been tied to crimes involving exploitation of children. Remember Laura Silsby, who was convicted of child trafficking? And how about this guy? You know, this guy and this guy. Internet sleuths discovered apparent evidence of pedophile code words being used in emails from John Podesta released by WikiLeaks. This was in November of 2016. Hillary Rodham Clinton, just when we think it can't get any worse with some of these corruptions we've heard about her, apparently there was a hidden file on Weiner's laptop with a video in it entitled Insurance Policy. Understand, this is no longer a conspiracy. There were a total of 12 individuals who saw this video, and 9 of those 12 people are dead now.
What the hell's going on here?
So far this year, there have been 9 NYPD suicides, 7 since June. Last year, there were a total of 4.
The video is described as pure evil. According to QAnon, the infamous White House insider, President Trump's recent announcement that he is going after high-profile sex offenders is directly related to this video. Now, this is my final warning before I go into detail describing this video. The bad video is of Hillary, Huma, and a little girl. They are terrorizing the child. They filleted the child's face off while she was alive and put it on their faces to further terrorize the child. They were deliberately causing the child's body to release adrenochrome into the bloodstream so they could drink the blood when they bled her out in the satanic ritual sacrifice. This was what caused grown men to become extremely sick, and many needed to seek out psychological help after viewing it. The perpetrators all need to be hung by the neck until dead. These are very psychologically messed up murderers, vile, demented, and soulless demons. Multiple sources within the FBI and NYPD have confirmed the existence of this tape. And then, of course, recently, there's this.
In fact, I heard that the New York police officers who saw some of it, even though they're hardened investigators, literally had to go throw up. It's bad.
Because of Wienergate and the sexting scandal, the NYPD started investigating it. Through a subpoena, through a warrant, they searched his laptop and sure enough found those 650,000 emails. They found way more stuff than just the more information pertaining to the inappropriate sexting the guy was doing. They found State Department emails. They found a lot of other really damning criminal information, including money laundering, including the fact that Hillary went to this sex island with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Bill Clinton went there more than 20 times. Hillary Clinton went there at least 6 times. The amount of garbage that they found in these emails of criminal activity by Hillary, by her immediate circle, and even by other Democratic members of Congress was so disgusting. They gave it to the FBI, and they said, we're going to go public with this if you don't reopen the investigation, if you don't do the right thing with timely indictments. NYPD was the first one to look at that laptop. Weiner and Huma Abedin, his wife, the closest advisor of Hillary Clinton for 20 years, have both flipped. And Huma Abedin, his wife, the closest advisor of Hillary Clinton for 20 years, have both flipped. Okay, they are cooperating.
Article from.
Yep. That's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. I mean, also, too, the stuff that was coming out about Uma Aberdeen was the spirit cooking. And Hillary attended those spirit cooking events, which spirit cooking? Yeah, of course, Romy, man, nobody is ever going to get in trouble, ever. Just like the Epstein files, we're never going to get them. And as long as we don't get those, nothing's going to change. In the meantime, we got people disappearing left and right. And then how about this guy, Create? I know you know this guy that I'm about to show next. This guy was all over Ancient Aliens. As a matter of fact, Eric Von Daniken, who I've spoke about on the show plenty of times, I didn't even know he passed away in January. So he passed away, but David Wilcox, when you see him, you'll know him, if you don't already know him. On his podcast, 2 days prior to him passing, he says, I love my life. I'm not S-word, because I can't say it on YouTube. I'm not going to delete myself, is what he said. 2 days later, he deleted himself. Why? Because does he talk about things? He breaks this down. This is something that I've heard from like David Icke and others. But he talks about it here. I'll Create, you were watching him before. Before Ancient Aliens, you knew about this cat. This dude is something awesome. We lost a good one. But here he goes.
One of the things that I learned from whistleblowers from the cabal itself is that they have to work within something they call the rules. And this is very, very important. The rules are a body of spiritual principles that they must follow in order to be allowed to exist. Now, what do I mean by allowed to exist? I mean that they are aware that there are benevolent forces that will prevent them from achieving their goals unless we give them permission to enslave us. Ultimately, the universe is intelligent, alive, and conscious, and it is benevolent. It is a benevolent consciousness. That consciousness does not allow the negative to succeed unless it is invited. So the cabal has made a science, a very elaborate science, out of studying these arcane, occult, magical principles that allow them to get away with what they do. So they have to put out everything that tells you who they are in music videos, in these Super Bowl halftime shows, the Grammy Awards ceremonies. They're out there showing you the truth. This is what people are going to have so much trouble with once disclosure happens, is that these people actually practice black magic, and they are very, very good at it.
Yes, because they've been doing it since the Anunnaki, who taught them about these things. But that had been my contention like forever. That's the importance of like the symbology of everything that's everywhere. They're not just symbols that you look at. They're not just 2D or 3D in some cases if they make statues and stuff. They're not just shapes of logos for companies and signs of religion and all these other things. There's information in that field, in that picture. It carries an energy. And so they let you know, like, hey, here it is. What do you think? Do you accept it? Do you want that pyramid with the all-seeing eye on your money? Because you need money. Because you need it. Do you want pentagrams on stuff? We'll put it on there. We'll put little symbols in Starbucks, and we'll put little symbols in Lenovo, and we'll put little symbols in pharmaceutical companies, and they'll just pepper it in there, letting you know, because they have to know. They have to let you know. That's kind of like, if you want to get religious here, like Satan has to tell you, like, hey, I'm about to fuck you over. You cool with that? Well, I don't know. What's the payoff? You know? Well, you're going to get this, but I get your soul. How about that? Yeah, okay, all right. That sounds like a deal. And then that's it. Now you invited it, and now you succumb to its deal that you made because you went along with it. I make it a practice every day to like say out loud. You can do this when you're alone. You don't want to do this in front of anybody because they're going to think you're nuts. But you say out loud, like a daily affirmation, if you will. Hey, everything that's going on, I'm not cool with. I'm not going along with this. I'm stuck operating inside of a box that they've built that was long built before I ever got here. But am I going along with it? No. I don't like it. I'm not, I don't approve of it. I don't want no fucking part of it. Just so whoever's listening knows. Hopefully it's the universe that's listening. Goes, okay. All right, that's a real one right there. But you have to operate inside the fucking specifications that they built. They've structured the society. I tried operating outside of society. Okay? Sleeping on park benches and sleeping in tents in the woods in the middle of fucking winter in the Midwest. I tried. But that's no quality of life. So, all right. So I got to get in line and I guess play the game. Play the game they set up. Even though I fucking hated it. Still hate it. But it's, you got to operate in it. What are you going to do? Let's see. Create. You have to tell the truth in plain sight and have our acceptance. Yes. They are intentional math and numbers built right into the architecture. Yes. It's like coding, just like coding. That's why I got the land and trying to grow food and try to get some sort of backup power going. Yeah. And this is why we're here, to create the boat, create a new culture, a self-sustainable one. I believe that. I truly do. I mean, I hate to be all super existential on the show right now, but I think that's why we're all here. Again, well, and when you see the game too, when you start to crack codes, when you start to see the coding, when you start to see through it, you know, almost like in the movie The Matrix. I hate to use that so much as a reference, but all the little coding that you see trickle down, when Neo first saw it, he's like, what the hell's that? He didn't know what it was. But the guys who have been reading it, the coding for so long, they see what the coding means. So once you get there and you start to see like through everything that we're being given to perceive, and you see through that, I truly believe, like, the universe, there's some kind of life contract or some sort of obligation to, you don't just shut up and keep it to yourself. You want to try to wake people up. You want to try to plant little seeds. You're not going to change anybody. It doesn't happen that way. But if you just drop a little seed, boop, right in the fertile mind, in someone's fertile mind, and just let it be. Let sun get it. Let it get some water. It'll grow. It'll sprout. I definitely have a lot of interactions with people every day, and I do like to think that at some point, if I just plant a little seed and do it very nonchalantly, that later that day or the next day, they'll go, damn, that just hit me right now, what Ezra said. Huh. And then they start to think, and then they start to ponder, and that's it. I just want that seed to germinate, and you take it from there. Let's see. The lies are all rising to the surface. It's like a massive healing ceremony. Yeah. Yep. We are coming to the age of Aquarius. We're about 100 years away from the age of Aquarius, which Aquarius is a truth teller, rebellious in nature, but truth tellers, Aquarius. All the shit is rising to the surface. We're going to see all the shit right out in front of it, right up. Yep. Yeah, for me, it's just a feeling. If you're a truthful, honest person, you could see how badly we're being manipulated and lied to. Spiritual things withheld from us. I thought we were in Aquarius now. No, we're still in Pisces. Which makes kind of sense of the Jesus story. Because, right, Jesus' symbol's the fish. And we're still in Pisces. About another 100 years. I can Google it real quick, but I checked a couple years ago. We're like 100 years out. Yeah, see, some people think it's 2012. No, it's not 2012. It's more going to be like 2100, 2200, anywhere from like 21 to 26. Nobody really knows for sure. But I personally will go off of like the calendar that has been made up. If after Christ is 0 and we're in the Lord's to 2026, we're looking at each house is roughly about 2,400 years. So the next house would come about, 2,400. So maybe we're a couple hundred years away. But from an astrologer that I listen to, and when I study astrology, I watch his videos. He says around 2,100. We're about 100 years out. And he's from India. Those guys have been knowing astrology for thousands and thousands of years. So I wonder if we could measure this ourselves somehow. Just going off the Christ's death. If it was, we start at 0 when he was dead and risen and got beamed up by a spacecraft, and that started year 1 right there, and we're in 2026 now. Yeah, we could be looking at 2,100, 2,200. So we're coming close. But see, the way astrology works is there's phases, right? So because we're this close to the end of a house, that next house's energy bleeds in close to the cusp. So the fact that we're so close, a lot of this shit that they've been hiding from us for thousands of years is starting to come to the surface, because we are just like the song, we're at the dawning of the age of Aquarius. And so right there, that Aquarius energy is going to bleed in. And a lot of truth is going to come to the surface, and it's going to be ugly. You say, they were doing it way back then. Going off the stars, looking up and figuring out like how they measure the sun, with a sundial. It's very similar to that, yeah. The coming of the internet was like the dawn. Yeah, the internet. It's kind of really a double-edged sword, ain't it? But again, though, you'll read something and something will tell you. Like you said, it's a feeling. And like some voice in the back of your head's like, nah, that's bullshit. Bullshit. No, that's bullshit. You know? And then you're like, all right, let me go check a couple other references, you know, and try to figure that whole thing out. But yeah, so that guy, David Wilcox, he goes on his podcast, again, 2 days, and tells his audience that he doesn't want to delete himself. And then 2 days later, he's passed away from deleting himself. So it's like, come on. Was he naming names? That's the problem. Are we allowed to talk about it? You just can't say who? Much like the Epstein files, you could know what's in there. You could learn all about the heinous things. That names you'll never know. But you'll know what they were up to, but you'll never know who. Now that we have this space where we can be connected and share even when we're apart at great distances. Yeah, the internet, but great for that. There's going to be lies and bullshit anywhere. But yeah, I'd like to find out, was Wilcox, what was he talking about? So there's that one clip there. I have another one.
Hear about the Illuminati if you watch.
Let's see. Where are we at? Share the screen. Here we go. Bada boom. Nope. And there we go.
Hear about the Illuminati if you watch the movie Eyes Wide Shut. You hear about something called the Saturn cult and the Festival of Saturnalia. Why? Because these people trace themselves back to the progenitors who had originally settled on Saturn. So if you look in Eyes Wide Shut, when they're all wearing the masks, they do this dance where they go around in a circle, and that emulates the rings of Saturn orbiting. Because they trace themselves as the descendants of Saturn, and they believe that they're different from the rest of us, that they have extraterrestrial DNA that made them the gods. And that kind of is segueing into the next part of our talk. So there were a very small number of survivors when the moon was blown up, and they got out with only, apparently the story is, the moon was so badly hit that only a few of their damaged spacecraft got out, and their civilization on Earth was almost completely wiped out. So just a small number of them made it, and they crash landed on Earth. And they then interbred with humans, which they were specifically warned not to do. And this created what we call, in the Book of Enoch, the fallen angels. Their offspring, their children most likely, the hybrids of their own form, which was about 36 feet tall, and native people on Earth, became these 12 to 13 foot tall, red-headed, white-skinned humans. And white skin was not normal for the Earth. And this is preserved in a book that the Vatican did not want you to read, that wasn't even found until the 1800s, but it's very old. It's as old as the book of Genesis, called the Book of Enoch. It's a very, very important text. And I'm going to be doing a lot more about this as I go on, probably writing it into my books.
That's what it's in the Sumerian tablets there. I don't know about that crash landing. You know, so Alex Jones talked about that for the longest time too, that the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers have written books. You know, they've written lots of books, but in one book particular, they do, it's not the whole book, but it's a chapter or two, where that's exactly what they say. They believe themselves to be star seeds. Descendants of star people, extraterrestrials. So they were given domain over the earth, and that's just what they're going to do. I mean, I really like to think that pretty much everybody's a hybrid. The only people who probably aren't are like indigenous people, to certain places because there's not much left. Maybe like the Aborigine in Australia, Native Americans. But everybody, especially us whites, we're fucking hybrids. Because they said it in the Sumerian tablets that they had skin like milk. So, and yeah, that's not native to Earth. Native to Earth is like melanin to protect them from the sun. We don't have that. White people burn in the sun. So that kind of told me that, hey, maybe we're not really from here, maybe. Yeah, exactly. Create. And what's up, Learn? I see you peeping. I see you peeping in the chat. Don't be a stranger. Come on in. Sit down. Have a seat. Let's see real quick. Let's see. Yep. You're not allowed to talk about Saturn. You're not allowed to talk about Saturn. David Icke does. We covered it on Loud Horse and Off. We did like a 2-part series because one of his conferences, man, it was so damn long. But we watched the whole thing. It's amazing. The Saturn cult, yes. I mean, the pagans were into Saturn like big time. And when I talk about Catholicism, when it started, like the majority of the world, especially because the world was ruled by Rome around that time, the Romans, they were pagans. And they were, and Catholicism was really trying to take over, but they couldn't get past the pagans who had all these festivals. So Catholicism had to adopt, he just said it, Saturnalia, which is the decorating of the tree, putting lights on it and hanging ornaments on it, and more importantly, the star at the top. And so when the pagans were like, Catholicism's doing its thing, and they're like, well, can we keep a lot of our festivities? Easter, that's pagan. Christmas, that's pagan. And once, Catholicism was like, yeah, well, we'll do those. You could still do those festivities. And they were like, okay. So they went along with it. I kind of make a comment of that every year when we go to cut down a tree and then we decorate it. I'm like, happy Saturnia. When actually that day, what the pagans would do is, because they had servants for that one day, they would switch roles. Their servants, they get the whole day off. And you would serve your servants. Do their laundry, cook for them, wash their feet, do the whole thing one day. Jordan Maxwell talks about Saturn and the worship of Saturn and the people that have imposed their will on us. Yeah. And it all has that symbology, man. Like David Icke breaks that down so well when it comes to Saturn. Just like the religions, man. And, so for instance, when I was talking earlier about symbols and the energy and power that symbols have, the North Pole of Saturn is a spinning hexagram. So a flat, a 2-dimensional shape hexagram, 6-sided. Now, when you connect the dots with lines, you get the Star of David. Okay, so those two energies are there together. Now, if you take the hexagram and make it 3-dimensional, it's a cube. It's a perfect cube. What do the Muslims in Islam? The black cube, right? What do they do when they have that big ceremony around that big black cube? It's them in a ring, in a circle, and they're going around the cube in a circle, emulating the rings around Saturn. Okay, let's stick with that cube. Picture a cardboard box. We all know cardboard boxes in America because we've all moved at some point. If you break out that cube and flatten it out, 2 sides, the top and then the other 2 sides, and lay it out, it's a cross. So you get all 3 world major religions in one Saturn symbol. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. Coincidence? Maybe so. But he never said they were from Saturn, and he said they worship Saturn. So, right. The Anunnaki, according to the Sumerian tablets, were not from Saturn. They were from Nibiru. But they had a lot of Saturn symbols as well. Could be a whole nother species, too. I mean, let's not think it's just the Anunnaki, the one species. I mean, the universe is littered with other type of life, intelligent life, advanced life. Like, we are babies in the universe. Like, we're babies. There have been civilizations in other solar systems and galaxies who have been around for millions of years. We're barely figuring out how to not need oil because the powers that be keep getting rid of those people. So we ain't even fought our way out of the draconian grip yet before we start thinking about other ways of energy and shit. Our skin is white because we are from a planet further away from the sun. Yep. Makes sense, because the closer you are, the darker you would be. Exactly. Like, if you were native to Earth, you're just through evolution, you would develop melanin to protect your skin from the sun. Ayo! Toot toot. I've been told my background is Uranus. Hey, forget about it. Saturnia was like that movie where it's legal to kill, The Purge, like a big porno purge for 7 days. You hear that they do that kind of stuff. The rich elite are into that type of stuff. They did a movie about it. Remember Ice-T? You know, he gets invited by a bunch of rich white people out to the cabin out in the woods. And then when he gets out there, they're like, all right, you start running. Like, wait, what? Yeah, we're going to hunt you, so start running. Holy shit! The Chevron symbol are 2 chevrons, which is just 2 3D boxes stacked on top. Yeah, they all do it. It's like, again, it's an inside fucking joke. And we're all just slaves running around doing their bidding while they plaster the symbology everywhere. It's in our face constantly. Which also means double cross. To double cross. The action of double crossing. You double crosser, you. Yeah, and basically they're saying you focus on the cross, on the 2D understanding of life, while they focus on the cube, the 3D understanding of life. Yeah. Or just the energy. It's oppressive. Because again, if you think about in astrology what Saturn is, it's limitations. It's about limitations. It's about it's about lessons. But like you said, all the other things, it's banking, it's government, it's law. That's why sheriffs wear a 6-pointed star. Saturn, right there, hello. It's law and order. Well, back to limitations is part of law. So all this stuff, the structure of life, our rules, the government, all that stuff, it's Saturn. Saturn energy. Knives Out. Is that the name of the movie that I was describing? The river banks control the flow of current sea. All right, let's bring back our boy.
The Scottish explorer James Bruce discovered several copies of it in Ethiopia in 1773. It was translated in 1821, and Jesus quotes from this book in the New Testament, so he obviously thought it was pretty important. The key chapters are chapters 1 through 36, called the Book of the Watchers, and it says that this man, Enoch, was Noah's grandfather and that he lived for 365 years. So he was some kind of extraterrestrial. Enoch acts as a messenger for what appear to be benevolent extraterrestrials who had threatened these people on Earth, the Watchers, with total destruction that became Noah's flood. But before the flood, before their civilization was wiped out again, because we're now talking about 12,000 years ago, the big Atlantean flood, they used Enoch as a messenger to kind of cut a deal with the good guys, the benevolent ETs, and say, would you please not destroy us?
I'd be careful saying the good ETs. According to the Sumerian tablets, I think I might have covered this before, but I love the story. It's great. Enki's son Marduk, born from Nibiru, so of their bloodline royalty, heir to the throne, kinda. Should have been, or he thinks he should have been. Anyways, I digress. He fell in love with an earthling, and he was going to marry her, and they told him, like, dude, you can't. But he's like, but I love her, and I'm going to marry her, so there, take that. And they were like, that's fine. All right, you want to marry her? Cool. But you can never go back to Nibiru. You're going to be stuck on Earth forever if you want to marry her. You're not going to be allowed back on Nibiru. And he was like, fine, I'll do it. So they went along with it. They were happy for him, had a very big wedding, was a big shindig. Well, he, at that time, his job was on Mars. Lamu was what they'd call Mars. And he had 200 Igigi with him that he controlled, which are the Watchers. Anywho, while the wedding is going on, and it's a big festivity, it probably went on for days, the Igigi who were on Mars were like, you know what? Fuck this. He gets to fucking have an earthling and have kids with her. We're going to go to Earth and we're going to pick our own women out. That's what we're going to do. So they did this like on the side. Nobody knew. And Lil didn't know. And then Lil is Yahweh. So he's the Most High, ranking Anunnaki on Earth at the time. Nobody knew that they were doing this. They kind of just did it on their side. And Lil didn't know, and Enki didn't find out until they saw giants walking around the Earth. When they saw giants, they immediately knew what happened. So, and Lil, in a fucking rage, rightfully so, because they weren't supposed to be intermingling with Earthlings. This was an ongoing theme with them, because they needed slaves, so they kind of hybrided us and then gave birth to Homo sapiens. But it was at that time, like, hey, you're not supposed to intermingle with them. They're just the slaves. Leave them alone. But they would fall in love with the women because they were beautiful and blah, blah, blah. Well, anyways, they see the giants and they're like, holy shit, like, no way. So Enlil was going to kill all 200 Igigi and their offspring. And he was so pissed, he just wanted all life on Earth to be gone. So when Nibiru was coming back around, he knew that the Earth was going to flood. And he was like, fuck it, let them all die. Let them all die. He was so pissed. Anywho, Enoch comes in the story. Now, the Sumerian tablets don't call him Enoch, but when you read the story, you're like, ooh, this is the Book of Enoch, if you've ever read it. They picked him to put him on a ship and took him to, I don't know if it was Nibiru or not. I mean, when you read the Book of Enoch, it sounds like he's on another planet. It could have been Saturn. I don't know. But Enoch does right. He saw all the edges of the Earth. They took him off Earth to go talk to Enlil. And Enoch must have been a bit hybrid himself, because Enlil was willing to talk to him, but he was never really allowed to see him. There was like a wall of fire between him and him speaking with Enlil. And he was chosen to kind of like speak on their behalf. And he was saying like, hey, I got approached by Yamza, I believe was the leader of those Igigi, and was like, and he was asking me, can you maybe spare them and not kill them? And then Lil was like, hell no. You tell them to stick it up their ass and they're dead. They're done. They're not, no. So he goes back, tells them, hey, he didn't go for it. He wasn't going for it. And they were like, damn it. well, tell him this, tell him that. They gave him things to kind of say, and then he went back, and again, and Lil was like, no, bitch, you're done. You're done. You're toast. You're done. So he went back and told them, and it was just, that was it. And that was their fate, and that's what happened. If it wasn't for Enki, because Enki was the one who then went to Noah before the flood and was like, psst, hey, spoke to him through the reeds. Because again, most part slaves and hybrids, they weren't dealing with the Anunnaki directly too much. There was a chain of command. Whispered to him through, hey, I need you to build a big-ass boat. You get a pen, start writing this down. I need it 800 cubics long, 400 cubics wide, 600 cubics deep. And I want you to get your kids and your wife, and you guys are going to go in this boat. And we're going to give you containers full of all the animals' DNA so that we could clone these bitches. Because you're not going to fit all the animals. Like, literally speaking, in the Old Testament, they literally think Noah went around and got 2 of every kind of animal. Humanly, physically impossible to get this done. It was a huge undertaking. But because Enki was a scientist and he was already making chimeras in his laboratory, he already had vials of DNA. Remember watching Jurassic Park? We got Dotson here! We got Dotson! Nobody cares. See? Nobody cares. Well, he opened up the shaving cream can and it had all the little vials of DNA in there. Same difference. That's how they had 2 of every animal. Put them in there. And then when the planet of the crossing was coming through and the Earth's fucking gravitational shit and flooded, it was more the magnetic field. Boom. Flooded, and all the Anunnaki took off in their ships, and they were hovering outside the atmosphere looking down, and they talk about, a lot of them were crying. The sister, mostly, because she gave birth to Adam. She gave birth to him, so she had a connection with humans in that regard, and she said, how did she write it in the Lost Book of Enki? She had said, they were scattered about and floating around like dead dragonflies all in the water. She was just absolutely destroyed by it. And Lil was happy because he just thought, okay, clean slate. They're all dead. Great. Now we're back to square one. He was happy. But Noah's boat hit land when the water started to subside, hits land, and he was instructed by Enki, hey, when you hit land, I want you to do the sacrifice thing. So, like, you're going to kill a lamb, you're going to cook it up, all right? And then that's how we'll know. We'll see your smoke coming from land, and we'll know that you're alive and that you made it. And Lil was pissed, but he was very happy with the smell of the meat on the grill. What man wouldn't? Ho, ho, ho. And so when he saw that, they landed, and although Enlil was pissed, he was like, all right. And that's the rift between the 2 brothers, Enlil and Enki. Oh, yeah, I saw this too. What'd you say? No menthol. Yeah, I saw that too, Alex. I have that pulled up, I think, as a matter of fact. Because I do want to cover that too, because do you hear any of this stuff, and are you shocked anymore? At this point, I'm not even shocked. I keep forgetting to make the damn Discord too. God dang it. Because again, if I could have, I would be sharing pictures every day. Where I live, they have been spraying like crazy. They're getting really aggressive with the spraying in the sky. It is way more than usual. I mean, it's a heavy dose we're getting, or at least where I live. I don't know about your guys' areas. But again, if I started the damn Discord and you were all in there, you would all just really quick walk out your house, look, point your camera up to the sky, and throw it in our chat. Because I'm telling you, it's crazy. But yeah, CIA making Lyme disease. Any which way they can kill us, man. That's the end game. Okay? 85% of the world population gone. That's what they want. I think that might be part of them prepping for the return. See, because that's kind of like, that's the importance of Jerusalem. think we talked about this last episode. That was the Anunnaki's launch and land spot. So when Jesus left, or the Anunnaki left, just like Jesus had said, oh yeah, I'm coming back. They want to hold all the religions, Muslim, Catholic, Jews, they want to be there because I think they presume, and maybe rightfully so, makes sense, like this was their landing and launching spot. When they come back, this is where they're going to land. They're not going to land in New York City. They're not going to land in Chicago. They're going to land where their spaceport was. They're going to land right there. Baalbek. Bam. Or the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. And they want to be there. Be like, hey, we held the fort down, baby. Here we are. Which kind of doesn't make sense because they were assholes to humans. I don't think it's going to go how they think when they come back. It's not going to be like, oh, yo, dapping them up. All right, you held it down. It's going to be whips and chains. We came back for more gold, assholes. Start digging. You got it, master. You got it. We're going to bing, bing, bing. Yeah. What do you think it's going to be? Open arms and you're going to get a fucking meal cooked for you? I don't know. I got news for you, assholes. I don't think it's going to go like that. I have heard some shit too. I haven't looked into it too much because I think it's kind of silly. But so you guys know the Epic of Gilgamesh? So Gilgamesh is a character in the Sumerian tablets as well. And his story, it's fascinating. I've read through it once. That's all I needed to read. But his mother was Anunnaki, was Nibiru, from Nibiru. But his dad was Earthling. So he was what they called 2/3 divine. His mom had told him, you know, kiddo, if you go talk to Enlil, the big boss man, maybe you can convince him that you can go back and live on Nibiru. Because if you went back to Nibiru, you would live forever. And he wanted that. Because he wasn't going to live forever because he was only 2/3 divine. Pureblood Anunnaki can live hundreds of thousands of Earth years. Okay? That's right. His best friend, Enkidu, which was like a clone. They cloned him, and that was his best friend. So they go on this whirlwind adventure because they need to get to the spaceport where Enlil was, because that's where he's stationed at most of the time. He did like Eden as well because he had one of his quarters were in the mountains overlooking Eden. But you could mainly catch him at the spaceport. So they went on this crazy adventure where which Enki was pissed because on this adventure, remember when I said Enki was making chimeras? They killed one of his chimeras. Was like a half bull, half man, like a minotaur. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, they killed it. And he was really pissed about it. But anyways, along the journey as well, one of the goddesses from Nibiru, her name was Inanna, which is actually Ishtar, because they always change their names as like generations go by. They change their names. So Inanna was the granddaughter of Anu, the king of Nibiru. But she went by Ishtar, which is where we get Easter. So if you've ever seen the woman with the wings, and she's holding like the two ankhs almost, and she has like crow's feet, that's Inanna. So funny thing, on Gilgamesh's wild adventure, they crossed paths with her. And at this point of her life, she was a scorned lover. How do you say? Scorned widow, because the man she was going to marry was murdered by Marduk. So at that point, she was like, fuck, man. At this point, like her true love was gone. She was pissed. So what she started to do was seduce men. This is well written in the tablets too. But it was funny because it cross-references with Gilgamesh's epic tale. So she tries to seduce him. And the game is, you're going to give me 50 thrusts or I kill you. And Gilgamesh goes, no, sweetheart. I've already heard the stories. When guys go into your chambers, they don't ever come out. So I'll pass. She was pissed because she never gets turned down. But Gilgamesh turned her down, and they kept on going. Because he already knew, number one, I ain't going to make it 50 pumps. And number two, maybe even if I do, I'm not getting out of your house alive, am I? So, yeah, that's great. So, anyways, at the end of the story, they make it to fucking Enlil. He asks him, and Enlil's like, nope. And that was it. And then he lived off the rest of his life just being he was high ranking for 1/3 Earthling. However, this is what I've been hearing. So there's the story. I gave you the rundown of Gilgamesh. What I've been hearing is that some of the world elites have found where Gilgamesh was buried on Earth because he was only 2/3 divine and he wasn't allowed to go to Nibiru, so he's here. They're trying to clone him and bring him back to life. This is what I've heard, and I'm like, oh, that's nonsense. The world elites. Again, for the last time, did they not read the books? They didn't like us. It didn't fucking matter if they gave you kingship or not. You were completely disposable to them. I don't know what they think they're doing. But that's amazing. Yeah, good old Enkidu. Good old Enkidu. Good stuff. Sumerian tablets. I can go on and on and on and on. It's fascinating stories. So if these are one of the oldest languages that they've found, the Sumerian cuneiform writing, and all these stories, you're talking millions of tablets that they found. What was this? The earliest writings known to man, and they were already writing science fiction? Or somebody thinking, because I try to think about it kind of logically, like, come on. Yeah, people came from another planet and they're mining and then make human. I mean, but the story's so deep. It's like they just sat around all day getting stoned. Hey, man, what if, like, we just say beings came down, man, and they showed us how to hunt and how to do math and study the planets and the stars, man? Should we say that? I think it'd be the most funniest joke ever. And then in like 200,000 years, man, people are going to be tripping out, man. They're not going to know what's what. Yeah, that's how Zechariah Sitchin describes that. Because Create says supposedly the Sumerians just show up. Not a slowly evolving society, but just pop up, just blow up out of nowhere. Yeah, that's how he describes it. A thriving, huge just civilization out of thin air. Just boom, it's there. With sophisticated technology and architecture and symbolism and carving canals and fields and livestock and banking and, again, receipts, divorces. There's laws. There's beer recipes. There's recipes for food. Yeah, just pop up out of nowhere. And again, the galaxy has to be teeming with life. We're just never going to know about it. I'm sure our government knows, and they're just like, I don't know, the people ain't ready. They're not ready. The whole control apparatus will crack and crumble, and we're not ready for all that yet. We haven't bled out the middle class just yet. And you have the working class and the trade class and the elite class, like anything else. Yep. And as above, so below, and all that good stuff. But, well, that was a good little rant there. All from the Book of Enoch, which is a very great book. It's just, you wonder. No, you don't wonder. You understand why when they sat at that, who was it? Constantine, right? Who sat down and kind of decided what was going to be in the Bible and what wasn't. That that one about Enoch getting taken off the planet. Take that one out. No. They're not going to, the regular slaves are not going to know about that. They don't need to know about Enoch being taken off the planet. That's going to just raise too many questions. Okay, we got them believing in some spaghetti monster in space. We need to keep having believe that. Which kind of makes sense because, like, you know, I grew up Catholic, right? And so you do think about this old bearded man, white beard, long white hair, sitting on a throne. That's who God is. Yeah, okay. That's Enlil. You just described Enlil. Let's see. What do you got here? We're like retards repeating a narrative. We aren't listening to any sort of source of life or consciousness other than our own egos. There is so much going on. Yeah. So egos are a huge problem. I think that might be part of like the reptilian brain. Egos. And yeah, with there being so much more going on. Yeah, dude, like even outside Sumerian tablet shit, there is so much going on. Like that's just like the tale of how we came to be right here. But there's so much more inner workings going on between us, our spirit, our connection to infinite consciousness, the center of the universe. All so much going on, which then when you start getting into Hermetic philosophy, yeah, the principles, yeah. There's like, there's just so much going on. So much. It's like layers on top of layers and 12 dimensions of in cubes, and it's all over the place, man. It's so much to get to know, and there's so much I don't know. Still, I know what I know, and that's great. But to keeping my curiosity, my mind is always curious. Oh, what's that? Oh no, I've never heard that. Show me that. What is that? Boom, and then go into it. Then I'll go down that rabbit hole for months and months, and then come out of it. Sometimes you do go down rabbit holes and then come out of there and go, that was bullshit. I did that with flat Earth. It didn't click for me. It wasn't. Nope. What do you got? Let's see. I mean, plant consciousness. First off, we are connected. Can't really explain it. But yes, you know about the halls of Amenti. I do. I think I do. Again, I think the halls of Amenti is that journey when this vehicle gives up and our little bit of ether, our spirit, wants to return back to the source. Because it'd be a totally different dimension. You're not even going to understand this anymore. Once the body gives up and the spirit goes, you're like, yes, I'm out of that body prison. Now here we go. I'm going back to source, but it's a whole fucking journey to get there. Because kind of like it sounds like that's what he's describing is how the hell to get back. Or come back again if you want to come back, because he came back 3 times. Thrice great he is. Or even 2, I mean, like in the literal sense even. So this one got me. Remember the images that they supposedly... Oh, God, this one was deep, too, and I didn't follow through on this because the story just disappeared. But some imaging company was shooting signals underneath the pyramids, and there were 4 pillars that spiraled down into a big, giant-ass room at, like, so deep underneath the fucking pyramid. Like, so deep. And it's a huge-ass box. It's a huge room. But it's like the shape of a box. But there's 4 spiraling pillars. So like staircases, if you will, just going around a pillar, going down to said room. And the guy who was talking about it, I saw it on Twitter, he actually called that, maybe these are the halls of Amenti. And I'm like, huh. But it could be a as above, so below type of metaphoric physical thing that they built to correspond with the journey in the afterlife. I don't know. It's so multi-layered, but the whole story just disappeared. Because it does go, as I mentioned before, when he's describing you moving is move in circles. Because the hounds travel in angles. So I guess if you're moving in circles and moving in curves, they can't get you because they move in angles. I don't, but the spiraling case goes down. I'm like, oh, so you would be moving in curves by going down a big giant spiral staircase. I don't know, man, but they didn't follow up. I didn't hear anything about it. Well, how come they find these things and then go find out? Start digging. Let's go. Get in there. You know? Let's see. What do we got here? All right. Halls of Amenti. Yeah. When we turn on our focus to that and wanting to connect with life on that level, then we'll be back to paying attention to source consciousness. As a whole or individually? Because I'm already there. Creator. I'm always every. If I could, I do feel from time to time when I'm feeling, because I might have less spiritual days than others, but most of the time I feel a tether from here to the source. Sometimes I'll just be talking shit out of the side of my neck and wait, was that me talking? That wasn't me. I feel that way when I write music. Because some people will be like, damn, how'd you come up with that hook? How'd you come up with that melody? How'd you come up with it? And I'm just like, I don't know. The instrument or the universe plays me. I am the universe's instrument. I don't know. I just picked up the guitar, started noodling around, and just something wonderful came out. I don't know. I can't explain it. Where are we at here? Hey, let me turn it to the big screen. I mean, we're supposed to be making contact with our planet, nature, cosmic consciousness, like once a year at least. Because there is real shit going on. Like being able to connect with our ancestors and more, sure. Ancestors, spirit guides, or that higher self. Your higher self is, again, we're just down here like having a fucking, like we are plugged into a matrix. They're just having an experience. But the actual real us is, Jim Carrey talked about this, right? Like for me, I'll say it like, I'm not Ezra. It's not who I am. It's who I am this go around. Okay. I'm just Ezra on this sojourn, if you will. But when Ezra passes away, then I'm back to, then my true self wakes up from whatever damn dream this is. Life is but a dream. But then all the other shit that's going on that you're talking about too, man, this gets deep because this gets crazy, right? Because there's a lot of shit that we don't see. Okay. The light spectrum is really wide and our cones of our eyes see this much of it. There's things going on that we couldn't possibly even fathom. There's a lot of as above, so below type of things happening where things are happening on higher planes that do affect these lower dimensions. So I think that's part and partial to our connection to the cosmos and to source and to our higher selves, where you can get a little bit of a glimpse and, I don't know, read the spiritual tea leaves in a way and navigate this realm a little bit better. Maybe do what's supposed to be done in our life contracts instead of just wandering aimlessly, going after things that you think you should be doing when you actually should be fulfilling your life contract. Yeah, I'd love a new initiative to explore ancient sites. But just like anything else, we aren't going to get any truth. No, they literally will tell you that humans built the pyramids. Again, that's how dumb they've conditioned us to be. No, yes, we made many years. It took us many years to make those pyramids. We made them. No, you didn't. Those pyramids were there long before you were. Uh, yeah, there's more. They are a visionary experience they've been hiding from us. Yeah, everything. Everything they've been hiding from us, man. We're not allowed to know shit. They've spun the story so bad, they got people thinking the earth is flat again. So they're trying to just revert us even back. I mean, we made strides, and now they're like, no. The earth is flat. Let the CIA put that into society. Put that in rotation. The earth is flat. And fake, all that shit they see at night, that night sky, it's all fake. They don't need to worry about that there's planets and extraterrestrial life. They don't need to worry about that shit. Tell them the earth's flat and all the stars aren't real. God help us. God help us. Well, instead, we're given magazines and icons to model ourselves after. That's right. Instead of making contact with our higher selves and getting back on track with our mission. Exactly. Like we do have a self. We have an intention. We have a direction. But we have amnesia. Yeah, it's like immediate. It's like part of the design. It's part of the design. Because, yeah, you come here with a life contract. And the second you're born, it's like, gone. Figure it out, kiddo. Figure it out. So then you try to look for signs. 11:11 on a clock. 1, 2, 3, 4 on a clock. Little messages. Sometimes you'll get signs that, hey, am I supposed to be doing this? There'll be roadblocks. You'll get roadblocks. And some people just, they don't think that'll end their determination. Like, oh, what the hell, man? Well, okay, maybe you're not doing the right thing. Maybe that's not the life contract. So the universe is telling you, no, not that direction. So go another direction. Or sometimes it could be the opposite. Because nothing worthwhile, doing something worthwhile ain't never easy. It's always hard. You want to do something that's worthwhile, it's going to be hard. It's going to be well worth it, but you're going to work your ass off to get to that thing. I don't know. Kind of didn't work like that for me. I like the serendipity. That's how it happened for me. I had to do a whole alchemy shift coming out of sobriety when I got sober. There was a whole, like, I had to retrain my brain just how to think, how to feel. It was all had to be redone. That's why I always say, like, when it comes to egos, that bitch was dead long ago. Literally was a heroin junkie. What ego? It was gone. And then when I had to rebuild myself back up, there was no ego involved in that. It was like self-preservation. I destroyed any fucking ego. And I think that's a better, more pure place to operate when you're not led by your ego. Because ego's bad. Okay. The ego's bad. Gets you to do bad things. You got jealousy, you get frustrated, you get anger, you get revenge, all these very low frequency emotions. The ego's not good. When you check your ego, put it to the side, now you're open. Now your mind's open. Your heart is open. Because that ego, you got out of the fucking way. I think that's it. Yeah, what you just said right there. Yep, for those that make it out, it's absolutely what it does. I mean, it tears you down. You are teared down to the foundation. And you've got to basically rip out the foundation, pour a whole new foundation, and then build on the new slab. But you're going to operate from a different mind state now. I mean, again, when I say retraining my thoughts, dude, I mean, it would be like, I don't know. How would I explain this? I could be like driving, okay, and the sun's in my eyes, and I'd be like, fucking hate the fucking sun. I hate you, sun. You fucking suck. I can't see. Stoplight. I hate this fucking stoplight. Somebody passes me. Fuck you. Like it was just this all the time. It was just that negative energy, just constant. I was an angry person. I was an angry kid. I had a very bad temper. Lots of fighting, lots of disobeying and being fucking just a nuisance. But an angry kid all the way till I was like 30. And then I started using heroin and then coming back out of that. I had to retrain. Okay? It wasn't I hate this. It was I love the sun. Oh, I love windy days. Oh, I love the beach. Hey, do you listen to this band? Yeah, I love them. Do you like doing this? Love it. Love it. I love this. I love that. No, I love it. I love it. But then but genuinely feeling like I do. Appreciate it. Respect. Love. For things before, I would be like, nah, fuck that. That's stupid. Fuck that. No, I love it. And then a big part of what I do is I love seeing other people create and do things. Like I'm like Tim Robbins. If I could stand and talk in front of a crowd, I would, and just gas everybody up. That's what I do. I gas people up. Oh, you want to do that? Do it. You should. But if that's what you want to do, don't half-ass it. You got to go full steam ahead. Do it, but really do it. Give it your best shot. That way, if it fails, you can look back and be totally okay because you know you did everything you could to go after that. Whatever it is. I want to paint. Cool. I want to learn to play guitar. Yes. I want to write a book. Yeah, do it. Like, whatever it may be, I'm that guy. Now, could that be bad? It could be, because I do have to do self-introspection and a personal inventory when I do that. Because I don't want to give people bad advice. Hey, I want to go on American Idol. Well, can you sing? No. Well, then maybe you don't want to do that. I don't want to go to American Idol. You can't sing for shit, but go to American Idol. Follow your dream. I got to weigh it all out, but I enjoy getting people to be creative and hit their potential. Constantly. I feel bad for my kids because they're young, right? And I will tell them, find an interest now and dig in. Dig in now. Because in 5 years' time, you could look back and be like, hell, I am this much better at whatever it was because I've devoted 5 years of practice into this craft, whatever it is. Don't be like me. I've been talking about doing podcasts for years. And I'm making up every excuse in the book. Now I've been doing it for 10 months. And I'm like, I should have started sooner. What in the hell am I doing? I should have started this sooner. But that's okay. The point is that I started and I'm regularly doing it and keeping up with it. And then in 5 years' time, I'll look back and go, damn it, I am so glad I started when I did. But shit. Yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about, create. Yeah. And not only were they just 36 feet tall, they had technology to do it. They had technology to help them. Because the craftsmanship was the best. And it lasted hundreds of thousands of years. They were laser cutting shit. Lasers. And then apparatuses to levitate. And yep, said it there. But there had to be mathematical precision because these things were power plants running on the Earth's magnetic field. So you would think that the placement of them had to be exact. Shit couldn't be off. Had to be right where it needed to be. The whole circuitry. Because there were pyramids all over this. But that's the next book from Sitchin I'm determined to read. I just haven't yet. It's called The Pyramid Wars. Because there are pyramids all over the entire planet. I think we've talked about this before. It's just some have kind of maybe crumbled down. Maybe some were just tore down by oppressive, conquering societies or tear that shit down. A lot are just grown over. I know you've seen it probably in the Amazon. There's pyramid-shaped mounds underneath tons of vegetation and plants. Let's see, any distraction they can use to distract a multitude of groups of people. All about keeping us distracted and sick. Yeah. Distracted and sick. And, religion, again, man, it's one of those bugaboos, man. Because how do you control billions of people? It's hard. But when they figured out religion, they were like, this is it. This is it. When they're born, we tell them they're going to hell right out of the gates. That was one thing I didn't like about Catholicism. I don't know too much about the other religions because I wasn't raised in those other religions and I never really did a deep dive on it. I don't know if those other religions tell their kids the same thing. Hey, guess what? You're born a sinner. Oh, awesome. So I'm going to go to hell right away? It's cool. I literally just got here and I'm already going to burn in eternal hell. That's awesome. Thank you. But they tell you that because they already want to instill that right away. Hey, just so you know, you ain't shit. You have, again, the truth is that you have existential, infinite, what would you say? Infinite potential. Like, you don't even know the depths of what your mind and what your spirit can do while you're here. You have no clue. We do. And we don't ever want you to know what you're capable of. So we're going to tell you you're going to burn in hell right out of the gates. You are 30 seconds old out of the womb, and you're a sinner. Like, wait, what? I literally just got here. I can't even speak yet, and I'm already a piece of shit? I don't like it. I don't like it. But then, yeah, that whole keeping us sick and trying to dumb us down, they're doing it. They're doing it. Yesterday I almost died at work. If I wasn't an alert driver, I would be dead right now. That's what happened yesterday. I'm driving on a backcountry road, 2 lanes. My direction, the 2 yellow lines, and an opposite direction, surrounded by acres and acres of forests and trees. And I'm driving, and it's me, and I'm training a kid, so he's with me in the passenger seat. I'm driving, we're talking shit. And I'm looking at this Jeep coming around this very soft curve. I mean, I saw her coming, I don't know, 400, 500 yards away. She was in a brand new bright orange Jeep. And so I'm driving, whatever. We're talking, blah, 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 blah. And I see her start to come over into my lane. And I'm like, she's going to snap back, right? You see this all. You guys have driven around a bunch. I'm sure you've seen it. It's happened to y'all. Cars kind of drifting over a little bit, couple tires on the yellow lines. And you're like, yeah, you'll snap back. She's not snapping back. She's just coming in my lane. She's fully in my fucking lane right now. And now I'm at a point where I've got 2 seconds to decide. Because I did for 1 second think I'll just fucking go in her lane. Because she had no cars behind her. I'm just going to go in her lane. And then she'll be passing me in my lane. And I'll pass her in her lane. But I'm just like, no, because if she snaps back and gets back in her lane, now we're really fucking dead. So I took the work van off-road. I'm keeping control of the van because we're doing fucking 60 miles an hour on this backcountry road. Boom, passed, and then fucking I get back in my lane because she went past, and I was like, what in the fuck is wrong with you? And I immediately turned to the training. I go, I guarantee you she was on her fucking phone. I bet you fucking dollars to donuts she was fucking texting on her phone. And then I start to get a little frustrated, a little angry, and I said, you know what? Now I get it. Now I know why they want 85% of us dead. I get it. You know what? I get it now. I might be on board. Hit me up, the Book of Ezra, gmail.com. I might be on board. Some of us gots to go. It's a fucking crazy fucking lady almost fucking killed me and some innocent trainee. Let's see. And that's how some people naturally wake up, going through near-death experience, extreme lows. Yeah, because that'll do it. That'll strip you of any pride or any ego. It's like some super-duper humbling experience when you find out just really how fragile life is. When you get to that realization, you're like, okay, I need to go about this game totally different now. Yep. A brand new appreciation on life. The Book of Eli movie. Let's see, post-apocalypse. And the dude is looking for a copy of the Bible so he can rule the people better. Yeah. You know, so I saw that movie a few times because I really liked it. So I assume that you've seen it. Can you connect this dot for me? Because I never figured this out about this movie. Even to this day, I haven't figured it out. Remember how everybody was with each other where they wanted to see your hands? Show me your hands. And they were looking for something on your hands. And then that was it. They were like, okay, you're cool. What's up? What do you need? You know, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck were they looking for? What are they looking for? Hopefully I'm remembering it right, so I'm saying it right. But I'm pretty sure they were saying, let me see your hands. And they wanted to see something. So you showed the hands and they were like, okay, you're good. What do you need? What do you want? Don't do that, Ez. Yeah, she was activated and I was almost erased. You know, those type of things only happen, and this has been, so Ezra starts to learn patterns. When we're in Mercury retrograde, like, people love driving in my lane. I've always said, if I ever die and it's a head-on collision, just really quick Google if we're in Mercury retrograde, and you'll be like, son of a bitch, Ezra called it. He called it. Because I seen every time we're in Mercury retrograde, I swear to God, I'm going to die in a head-on collision. Because other motherfuckers aren't paying attention and they're all in my lane. It happens all the time. Except for the incident yesterday, we're not in Mercury retrograde right now. So that was just some random dumb person not paying the fuck attention. Like, at all. She had all 4 tires in my lane. She was all in my lane. And again, if I'm doing this and if I'm talking to the kiddo in the passenger seat, oh yeah, so you know, yeah, Bears draft fucking sucked. I'm fucking so pissed off. Boom! That'd have been it. That'd have been it. Head on. 60 miles an hour for me. Don't know how fast she was going, but you add that up, equals Ezra's not here anymore. Let's see. The people that go crazy in the movie, their fingernails go black. I think so. It was a sign of some sort. Okay. I didn't notice that detail. So their fingernails would turn black, and that means they've lost their minds somehow. You don't want to mess with them. Yeah, anything post-apocalyptic. Hollywood likes giving us those movies. Mad Max, The Book of Eli. There's a whole bunch. Terminator. Just, you know, again, every time they make a movie, they're like, what do you think? Huh? What do you think? Kind of like that whole thing about them telling you what they're going to do. And they'll do it in TV shows. They'll do it in movies. They drop little droplets of, what do you think, huh? Aliens invading. Oh, my God. Independence Day. Which, let me talk about that really quick to my brother. Oh, my God. Don't get mad at me, bro, if you're watching. Because this is like, I think this is one of his pet ideas, man. But I have to say it. Come on. So if you've seen Independence Day, okay, aliens do come to Earth. They're invading. And the U.S. Air Force is like, we got to take these some bitches out. So what are they flying? F-15s, F-16s. They're trying to get to these spaceships. And they're literally, some of these action scenes are our Gen 4 fighter jets taking on UFOs. And my brother's like, that is so fucking bullshit because aliens don't miss. Because like UFOs are chasing F-16s and like pew, 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 shooting their lasers and they're missing our fighter jets. And my bro's like, nah, bullshit. aliens don't miss. I think it'll be one shot, one kill. That's it. One laser, F-15 exploded. I love it. Yeah. So, really quick, 6 of you in the chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for popping in. Could you really quick, you guys, get in the damn chat and tell me, because this is another thing I wanted to bring up. Where's gas at? Huh? Because I know I talked last week that I wasn't going to start dick riding yet because gas had gone down 20 cents. Okay? I wasn't going to do that. We had a lot of people on the conservative side of the aisle say, see? Told you, you were all panicking and shit. You got to trust them, bro. Gas is down 20 cents. Like, no. Gas is still up 80 cents. Let's keep shit in reality here. Gas had gone up a whole motherfucking dollar. Because it went down 20 cents doesn't mean gas went down 20 cents. We're still at an 80-cent deficit here. When we get that back down to zero and gas is $3, then I'll start dick riding, okay? But until then, stop it. Well, I'll say that it went down 20 cents. Well, gas by me went right back up another 10 cents. So now we're at net 90 cents. All right? We're at a 90-cent deficit where I'm at. All right, we got wedge 374, create 365. Yeah, so 374, we're close to there. We're at 380 where I'm at. Like I said, and it was $4. And it went down to 380, but now we're back up to 390. That's what, yeah. We were at 380. We're at 390. It went back up 10 cents. Let me stand corrected. Roll me 425. Where do you live, dog? Elgin? Is that where you said? You're not in Elgin. You're in, you told me. Damn it, I forgot. Wasn't Elgin. Was it Elgin? Not the show, but I saw that with the very last fucking pick. Hooray for Hollywood. You know, before I turned the show on here, did you see Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson had a presser? We'll cover it tomorrow on the show. We might even do like a coach speak. I just thought of that right now. Just popped in my head. It's like, oh yeah, we had the GM and the coach there. And that would be a funny coach speak and GM speak because I will be fucking up both of their answers. There's no way they can justify any of their fucking picks. Okay, couple of them, all right? The safety, great pick. Great job. Bolingbrook. There you go, Bolingbrook. Damn, it's expensive. What county is Bolingbrook in? Is that still in Cook? $425. I mean, damn. But we'll talk Bears tomorrow. We've got a show in the morning. We got a very big show lined up because we're going to be reviewing the draft picks and giving our grade. And I listened to a lot of pundits today, see if they could talk me off the cliff. It didn't really work. I just found myself getting more pissed off. It'll make sense. I said, I commented in, was it Hogan Johns? No, it was CHGO. I said by week 8, it'll make sense. It'll click in my head by week 8. It'll all make sense. I put up a short on Everything Bears tonight. I put up a short. I forgot what it was. I have a few queued up, actually. I'm just not going to upload them all at one time because they'll all screw with each other in YouTube's algorithm. So I'm going to release one today, one tomorrow, one the day after. But there is a nice short of me and Wedge talking about, the truth of the matter is we don't know shit. It's a funny little short. Yeah, we don't know shit. How about that? So I heard somebody make that argument. Maybe this means we're going to make a move for Crosby. Or some other edge. There are still free agent edges. Okay, we got Cameron Jordan's out there. Reddick is out there. There's like 5 household name DNs out there. I still don't think we don't got the firepower to bring in Crosby. But we can bring in one of those other old timers like Cameron Jordan or Reddick or whoever else the other names are that are eluding me right now. But yeah, tomorrow. Big show. Tomorrow morning. Not too early, boys. Not too early. But yeah. All right. Because the gas by me had gone up. So you guys are kind of maintained, would you say? You dropped down the little bit and it kind of just plateaued there? Because like I said, we were at $4 and then it went $3.80 and it was hung there for a few days and then whoop, $3.90. So I was like, oh, there it goes, going back up again. I think it's anytime he says, Trump, that is, anytime he's going to do something in the Middle East, it fluctuates. Because, right, the most recent thing was that they were supposed to have some peace talks in which country over there? Turkey. They were going to sit down and have a peace talk in Turkey with Iran, but they were going to have the meeting in Turkey. Trump called it off. He was like, nah, fuck it. They're not listening. So when you guys are ready, you know our phone number. And he canceled the meeting. So I think maybe that might have been. All right, jack the price up 10 more cents. This guy's fucking around with the peace talks. I'm going to get all riled up again because I still don't understand why the fuck what's going on over there affects us. What happened to Drill Baby Drill? Can we get some boring going on? Open up that Keystone pipeline? Can we? No? Thought that's what you were doing, man. Thought you said that's what we're going to do. I guess I misunderstood. I guess I don't know what Drill Baby Drill means. I misunderstood what Drill Baby Drill is. Completely. Totally missed that one. I thought I was pretty savvy with figures of speech and things like that. The English language. Drill Baby Drill. I thought we were going to be supplying our own oil again. No? Thibodeau? Yeah, but we got to give up something for him, though. Those free agents, we can just sign for a little skid bid with those guys. But for Tibbs, I'm not ready to give up Cole Kmet just yet. Dude, an hour and 47 minutes just flew by. Wow. What time is it? I might could go another hour. I didn't even get Create on here. Create, you got an iPad, but do you have earbuds? Because if you have earbuds, you won't get no echo. But if you're just like on an iPad and the sound's coming out there, maybe could. StreamYard does have like a built-in echo canceller, but I've heard how it sounds with people who aren't using earbuds. I can hear myself. So then on the broadcast, there will be kind of like a reverberated echo thing going on maybe. But if you even got plug-in earbuds work, the damn wired ones, be like Caleb. Don't wear wireless earbuds. You've been getting some big time hours at work. Nice. So I'm getting my headset soon. Yeah, man. I do got to start Discord. I really do. Because like we could be sharing a lot of information in there. Because like when I had to build my little setup, man, I did so much research, man, on headphones, microphones, the whole thing. I know all the bang for your buck stuff. And that's what I do. I share information. Again, that's my obligation. That's part of my life contract. Oh, yeah, you're going to learn things? You need to share. You can tell the rest of the class, like literally. You're obligated. If you don't, I'll make your life living hell. That's the universe's message. That's direct message. If you don't share what you learn, your life is going to be a living hell. You got that, Ezra? I got it. I got it. Because that's what I say, like serendipity. So no, it's not. It's actually a HyperX Quadcast microphone. Really great for the money. Anything Shure are, yes, very good mics. That's what I use. But these are not price friendly. Because I do music production, I wanted a industry standard microphone, so I did invest the money for this fucker. Not cheap. But when I'm doing vocals and songs, the vocals need to be, good quality tracks that I'm tracking. But like if you're not doing music production, you're doing podcasting, man, the HyperX Quadcast mic, it's like $100. If you want the RGB one, it's $110. But just the regular $100 mic, it comes in black, it comes in white. Pick which one you want, boom. It lights up red, I think, or you can just turn the red off and just have the mic. But it's like a multi-coned microphone, so you can talk from it on the top or the sides. And then it has a 360 too. So like if you had a guest or somebody with you, you would turn on the mic knob because that controls which cone you'll use in the mic. So like if you had a mic, you had the quad like that, but it's you and somebody else, it'll pick you both up like perfectly. I mean, I was this close to buying it. But again, when I was reading the reviews and how it does for music production, it's not the best mic for like singing and vocals. But for podcasting, it's excellent. And again, bang for your buck. Audio Technica also makes a very good headset. Cheap, it's like $50. I'm trying to see if I can find the box for these right here. These were like 180. So these are like their mid-tier. These are great because I use these for sound engineering because they give you a nice flat sound. They're not bass heavy. Like when you're mixing and mastering, you cannot have any kind of headphones that are like bass heavy or treble heavy. You need very flat sounding headphones, cans, so that your mix is true. That way, when I get out of here and I go put it in the car to go listen to how the mix is, it sounds just like how it does in my headphone. I'm in the market for studio monitors because these monitors that I have, I don't like them. But they're pricey, the ones I want. So it's going to be a while before I get that. But again, the model for the damn Audio Technicas. You got a friend in Wedge, too. You know what? I should do that. I'm going to keep you guys on here while I start the Discord right now. Because I bet it takes me 2 minutes. I've got Discord on my computer. All I got to do is name the chat and then tell you guys what the link is, and then you go join it. But yeah. Wedge is a purveyor of used goods. Anything from appliances to lawnmowers to electronics to video games to musical equipment. All right, so I'll create it now. All right, word. And then I'll send the invite links. Okay, here we go. Enough talk. Time for talk is over. So let me open Discord right quick. I think maybe I've been putting it off because I think what username I've created for it, I don't like. So I need to either be allowed to change it. If I can change it, that'd be great. Oof, my son is signed into it right now. Get out of here, kiddo. Okay, kiddo, log out, get out. Hello? Can I log out? No. User settings. Log out, buddy. No, I don't want to disable or delete the account. I just log out, please. Oh, there it is. Log out. Good doy. Log out. Thank you. All right, here we go. You know what? I will make a new one. Here we go. Hey, what the hell? Oh, they don't let you use caps? That's nice. You got to use underscores. That's dumb. I can't use caps in it either. Nobody has my username. Ow! Oh, shit. Just screwed up my password. Confirm I'm human? I'm human. Uh-oh. Now I got to do some tests. Please drag the shape to the center of the circles. Okay. How's right there? All right. Right. We're in there. So that's done. Please check your email to verify your account. Okay. Let me go to my email to verify my account right quick. Okay. Verify email. Boom. All right. I did the damn thing. Okay, now. Add a server. Boom. Create your own server. Create a brand new server with voice and text chat for your buddies. Got it. We're going to create my own. Ooh, so all right. I'm going to need your guys' help here because, you know what we'll do? Let's see if I can do this. Should I not share my screen for this? I'm not going to have any sensitive things, I don't think, on here. I don't think. All right, because here's what it is. So I'm setting up the server, and it wants to know, tell us more about your server. Am I going to create this for a club or community, or is it for me and my friends? Because I could see both being viable options for us. Is it a club or community? Because I would obviously like other people who come to the show and go, oh, yeah, invite them to the Discord and blah, blah, blah. And that would be like club or community. But for me and my friends, that's just like us tight-knit groups. Just us, right? Or would that require invitations if we want to invite people in? It's a little more exclusive. Yeah, show me proof you subscribe to my channel and I'll let you in the Discord type deal. Create says, I mean, you can do either. You can always make a new server easy if you need to change something. Well, okay. All right, so it'll just be me and my friends. Boom. The server name. Ooh. All right, so I'm going to end up creating one for bears too, but the one right now, the Book of Ezra's Decoded server. Okay, that's this one. Because in this one, we're going to do things like books, news articles. I want pictures of the skies. Okay, when they're spraying heavy, I want pictures in there. I could add a photo. Let's add a photo. Oh, snap. I'm going to go in my decoded folder because I got nice little pictures in there. And then we'll just make it like that right there. Boom. That's it. All right, now create. Oh, you said what? The create button on the screen. The Book of Ezra with a light coating of barium and aluminum. All right. So, boom. Welcome to the Book of Ezra's Decoded server. Now, at this point, invite your friends. Invite your friends. Okay, here's the copy the link. Set this link to never expire. Yes. Boom, copy. Copied. Now, can I get away with doing this? Should I put it in the chat in here? Or do you guys want it privately? Like on Twitter. I'll send it to Twitter. Because I guess if I put it in here, the audience watching will just bop on in. So, all right. I'll DM. Oh, you did? Okay. Wedge, are you on Discord by chance? I'm going to send it to you anyways, Wedge. And if you make a Discord, that way you'll have it. Ah! Ah. Ooh. All right, let's see. I'm on Twitter now. Chat, boom. Yo, there you are. All right. Boom. You got to create. Oh, see. All right. So wait. Big Mike, I didn't see you tonight, Big Mike, but he's gonna have the invite in his DMs on Twitter. Boom. Now I'm gonna shoot over to Messenger so I can get to Wedge. All right. I got you. All right. All right. All right. Creates in there. We're doing a damn thing. All right, Wedge, I sent that link over to you and your messenger. So, yes, if you download it, make your profile, click the link, and then join the chat. This is Decoded. But while I still have got you guys too, because why stop here? You guys are going to get another invite link because I'm going to do the Everything Bear show too right now. Right now, because this ain't a game. Do, 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 do. Where, right here. Boom. Uh-oh, I'm getting messages. I'm getting messages on the server. Uh-oh, it's exciting. Doing a damn thing. This is my first time doing it, so just bear with me as I'm doing this very slowly. Because there were a couple like little personal touches that I like to put on my socials that I'm just gonna do right now. Like, I changed my avatar. I put an avatar picture in, but then I like to have a background picture as well. Why didn't you let me put that as my banner, jerk ass? Because it was like, hey, do you want to animate this? And I'm like, nah, just leave it. Just leave it. The picture that I picked for my banner. And then it was like, wait, you're leaving with unsaved photographs. Let me re-upload it again. Do I have to use nitro? I mean, it's kind of forcing me. To use damn nitro, and I don't want to use you, nitro. Leave me alone, nitro. This time I'll try nitro and see if that'll make it go. All right, so it's kind of acting a little goofy. That's okay. I ain't tripping. All right, one more server. Here we go. Same thing again. This one's going to be called the Everything Bears Show. Server. You're nodding out. Have a good night. I'm going to send you the invite link to Everything Bear Show, right? But have a good night. I mean, I could actually probably sign off really and do this. I'll send out the links to everybody. All right. Here. Boom. 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 Create. Boom. 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 All right. Wedge. All right. Control V. Boom. That's it. All right, Wedge is in there. All right, I sent the links out to both. Now we got Decoded page and Everything Bears page. That's it. We got Discord. We're hip like the kids. We're in there, boys. We did it. All right, that's great. There we go. We did it. That's it. It's complete. We now have Discord, and we're going to be just boom, 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 boom. Articles, pictures, memes, GIFs, jokes, articles, anything. You name it. We put it in there. All right, boys. That's it. Great show tonight. You guys were awesome. Again, thank you for hanging out, listening to me rant. Thank you so much, you guys. Take care. Have a good night, and we'll see you on Everything Bears tomorrow. Peace.